Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with more Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 leaks. Dude, oh my gosh, so much is leaking about this game, it is crazy! So today we're going to be talking about some Modern Warfare 2 DMZ leaks, as well as some multiplayer leaks, as well as we actually had gameplay that was leaked. Like, actual gameplay was posted, and you can actually go online and view it, as well as we also have more about the new Warzone 2 map has been leaked as well. We pretty much know what the map will look like as well as like now we have almost like the entire list of all of the point of interest locations, all the spots on the map as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So let's start out with DMZ here. So this information is coming here from Ghost of Hope. He says Modern Warfare 2's third mode DMZ has at least 4 maps in development. The Warzone 2 map is entirely separate and is not in any way connected to DMZ. All of these maps differ considerably in design. Some are catered for open world, others more claustrophobic and dense. And then he posts, this is a leak I posted back in early April that I wanted to repost for the people who never saw it. So it's kind of interesting. Let's discuss that at first. So he says DMZ has at least 4 maps in development. Okay, makes sense. You know, they probably are expecting it to be a big mode because it's supposed to kind of rival Escape from Tarkov. It's supposed to be kind of a huge thing, just like how Warzone was. Warzone was huge in the likes of kind of disrupting like Fortnite and PUBG and, you know, any other battle royales out there. It is like now one of the top battle royale games of all time. And so it makes sense that, you know, if they're really counting on this new mode to do well, they probably already, you know, thinking about having new maps in development. Okay, makes sense. But then he says the Warzone 2 map is entirely separate and is not in any way connected to DMZ. But then that's different from other leaks we have from, like, say, yesterday, where they said that the DMZ map and the Warzone 2 map are going to be the same map. So a little interesting. This one was posted 4 days ago on May 15th, whereas we have supposedly had newer information where people, I mean, even like Ghost of Hope, he was like, hey, like, you know, upon further examination, it looks like the maps are the exact same. So I'm going to stick with that, the latest information saying that the maps are the exact same. To me, that makes the most sense, is that the maps are the exact same, and that's what everyone is saying at this time. So just go with that. The maps are apparently the exact same, but he says here, though, that there are 4 additional maps in development. But could that mean there's 4 additional maps for Warzone 2? Because I personally don't see them, you know, making 4 maps specifically for DMZ. I would also expect them to utilize them in multiplayer. And also, I mean, why not Warzone 2? Because if, you know, the DMZ map is going to be the same as Warzone 2, and they're already making more DMZ maps, why don't you just make those more Warzone 2 maps as well? So, it makes sense to me. And then next up, he says Modern Warfare 2's third mode DMZ will include a marketplace where items can be bought and traded. You'll be able to earn skins, blueprints, and more from DMZ that are usable across multiplayer and eventually Warzone 2. That sounds pretty cool. It kind of sounds like a little bit like CSGO, but that's pretty cool. He says, details are sparse on this at the moment, but it's a huge focus for devs. They want this mode to be rewarding and connect with other parts of the title. I'm sure COD blogs will detail the exact details when the time comes. Okay, pretty cool. That is it. All we have for the DMZ at the time being. The next one is coming from Modern Warfare 2 Ghost, another leaker on Twitter, really great guy. He says, in regards to Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, no ACR in Modern Warfare 2 lines up with what I've heard, but I was told the intervention would be coming, so there does seem to be different info floating about at the moment, which also lines up with what we have heard from Ralph. Ralph was saying that the intervention will be in the game. We got a whole list of all the weapons that has been in another video that was posted earlier this week on the channel, so make sure you guys check that out. But that was like all the weapons they currently had in the game at that time. So I'm sure there's going to be more and more added as time goes on. So we'll have to see. I really like the ACR, and it would kind of disappoint me to see it not show up in this game. But here we go. Back to Ghost of Hope. He has a tweet here saying, I think we'll have enough leaks to say that Modern Warfare 2 will be faster than Modern Warfare by quite a bit. He says lower sprint to fire than the last 3 titles, but not as fast as Black Ops 2's. He says there's a classic minimap, which we already knew that, so no longer with the Modern Warfare's minimaps, so just classics, say like MW2, MW3, Black Ops 2, just classic minimap style. That is fantastic. New movement mechanics plus faster movement speed, and map design is similar to Cheshire Candor and Shoot House, etc. And then he says, there's probably a lot more I could have added to this, and will as we get closer to release. They're definitely making the pacing faster and more like core multiplayer should be. That's enough for me, can't wait to play. Ooh, I'm excited about that. I mean, it's interesting though, because people are saying, like leakers and people who have played the game say that it's not great in its current state. But, I mean, if the game is going to be a lot faster pace, then dude, I'm looking forward to that. It sounds like it'll be great. I mean, they say it's not quite Black Ops 2's sprint to fire, but it'll be a lot faster. It'll be a lot closer to it than pretty much we've ever been. So I'm really excited for that because I want another run and gun game. I want a real good run and gun shooter that you can really just rush and just have fun with, because Modern Warfare 2019 was kind of campy. So hopefully they get this Modern Warfare 2, they get this game right. But here we go. Another leak we have here. Pro perks are indeed coming back to Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 2, as well as Ghost of Hope. He says at least one plus to the leaks today is that we're getting pro perks back. Ooh, pro perks, dude, that is exciting. Pro perks were a feature we had in Modern Warfare 2, where you could use a perk, and then as you ranked it up, you'd have to do specific things in order to rank it up and to get it to pro status. But then pro status would give you additional benefits for that perk. So for example, you had like Marathon Pro, Hardline Pro. I mean, one of the most egregious ones was One Man Army Pro, as well as you had Commando Pro. Ooh, that was freaking insane. I mean, you had Marathon Pro, Commando Pro, and you throw on Lightweight Pro as well, and you were like unstoppable in MW2. So it'll be interesting though. I mean, pro perks are something we haven't had in forever, but I mean, it's always been something that was pretty fun, and it'll be interesting to see how they come back and what the exact kind of tiers of them are, because I mean, at least back in the day, like, it really was quite a big upgrade for a lot of these perks to go in from the base perk to the pro perk as well. So we don't know exactly if it's going to be just base perks, pro perks, or I think it would be kind of cool if we got tiered perks and you had like a tier 1, 2, and 3 to them. So you had like base, like intermediate, and then your pro perk. So I don't know, it'd be kind of cool, but pro perks are coming back to Modern Warfare 2. That is going to be pretty cool. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the Modern Warfare 2 /DMZ map. MW2 Ghost, he posted this tweet, #MW2, #DMZ, and he shared this, which is obviously an overview of what the new Warzone 2 map is supposed to look like as well. So pretty cool, guys. So I'm going to show you guys this, and so this isn't obviously like a screenshot from the game. This is a recreation of what it is supposed to look like. But I wanted to show you guys this first, that way when we go through this list of all the point of interest location, you guys will have a good kind of visualization of what we're talking about here. So here we go. Ghost of Hope says all 18 Warzone 2 map point of interest, sweeping from top left to the bottom right. He says from the top left to the bottom right, we have Oasis, War-Torn, Quarry, Oil Field, Modern City, which is high rise. We talked about that in the other video just yesterday, where we talked about that. Classic MW2 map. Caves, which is Afghan. Dam, Marshes, Harbor, Sierra, Observatory, Mountain Town, which they assume is favela at this point. Graveyard, Old Town, Shipwreck, Fish Town, Fort, and Airport, which is supposed to be Terminal. And then Ghost of Hope actually commented on one of Tom Henderson's tweets, and he asked, is Oil Field Rust? He says other guesses are Shipwreck is a ground from MW3, Oasis is Oasis from MW3, Oil Field is Rust, and that's about it for his guesses at the moment. And then he also posts another one following up to that. Here's his guesses based on it. He says, like he said here, a ground would be Shipwreck, Oasis is Oasis, Rust is Oilfield, and Sea Town is probably Fish Town. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, it'd be really cool with all these. And I mean, it kind of lines up with some of the leaks that we heard. We heard that Warzone 2 is supposed to be more like Blackout than Warzone, which to me, it's like you could kind of like spin that in a couple of ways. Like, what does that mean exactly? So my guess is that it means that the map is really heavily influenced by previous games. Like, the map is really based on previous multiplayer maps, just like Blackout. Like Blackout, we had like Diner from Black Ops 2 Zombies, we had Array from Black Ops 1, you had what was it, like Estates, which would be Raid from Black Ops 2. Like, the entire map was made up of previous multiplayer maps, and that was seriously so sick. You had firing range, whereas Warzone kind of has that a little bit, but not to the same extent that Blackout did. And so it sounds like, I mean, if all these like locations turn out to be like kind of what we think, then honestly that'd be so cool. And honestly, I kind of prefer that. I prefer going and playing in these old maps that's like, oh, hey, I remember this map from clear back in the day. Some of these new locations are cool that we had, like in Warzone. Warzone 1 and like Verdansk and even in Caldera. It's kind of cool, but it also, it's fun and it has this nostalgia feeling of playing through and showing up at a location. You're like, wait a minute, I know this location. I know exactly what this is. Like, I played this, you know, whatever, 10 years ago. And it's just a cool feeling. I really like that. But yeah, there we go. That is the locations. MW2 Ghost said Saba is the Warzone 2 map code name. Kind of interesting. I mean, has, you know, what were we supposed to do with that information? But hey, it's there. Next up is when he's talking about this image, though. The image he posted, he says, disclaimer, this is a remake based off the actual map image, not the actual image itself, obviously. As well as Tom Henderson commented, he says, oh, I should have probably mentioned the rivers going through the map, lol. MW2 Ghost also says new Warzone 2 info from Tom Henderson backs up the early MW2 footage I was sent as being DMZ gameplay and actually part of the Warzone 2 map. There's only one map for DMZ as far as I'm aware also. Interesting. Like I said, that kind of conflicts with what we've also heard earlier, where like MW2 Ghost, and then we have like Ghost of Hope. He's saying that you know, we have 4 DMZ maps in development, possibly also Warzone 2 maps in development, and then he also said that the maps were separate. DMZ and Warzone 2 are separate, but then here we have another source saying that they're the same map. So I'm not exactly sure what to believe, but like I said, I'm just gonna believe that they're the exact same map and that there will only be one map for now. But, you know, I don't like have any reason not to believe that they don't have additional maps in development. You know, these maps take forever to develop, so it makes sense that they would start development on more maps right now. Next up, okay, let's talk about this actual leaked gameplay that has been circling around. Ghost of Hope, he says, was passed out, but I guess that footage that I've seen months and months ago finally leaked, lol. And so I cannot show you guys the footage in this video. This footage, you will not find it on YouTube. Activision has been seriously DMCA takedowning like every single video, even like talking about this, if they show this gameplay. So you will not be able to find it on YouTube. But dude, like seriously, go to any of these guys' Twitter, go to Tom Henderson's Twitter, go to MW2 Ghost, go to Ghost of Hope's Twitter. If you go under like any of their tweets, there is somebody in the replies posting the footage of this. So I guarantee you will be able to find it. But let's talk about this footage. So this is, you know, the recreation of what the footage is. So this is obviously something we talked about in a previous video where we talked about the leaked gameplay. So that gameplay is, like he's saying here, there's the footage that was leaked forever ago, and it's finally actually now being leaked out to the general public as well. So this is what it looks like. Now the video in question is very, very low quality. It's like 240p, just so blurry. You honestly can't see anything. There's been a couple clips posted around. They're like 10 seconds. It's really like nothing all that interesting. It's like just a player like kind of like walking around, reloading their gun, and then doing an inspect animation. So it's kind of interesting, and it looks alright. I mean, it's like, yep, that's gameplay from the new game, but it's so blurry that it's like you can't make out any cool details or really get anything from it. It's just like, yep, that's a Call of Duty game. And then he says, the red dot sign on the M4 from the leaked footage is exactly the same as the one from MW2. Cool. As well as he says, I'm pretty sure that footage is from Warzone 2 and not DMZ. The UI explaining TAC map and talking about contracts. The UI showing the white icons of teams, players, and kills. Cool. As well as he says, the more I go back and look at the clip I got months ago, the more I see different pieces of UI I overlooked. Can see armor UI in the bottom left near the names, for example. Can also see the field upgrade and some kind of streaks in the bottom right that disappears. Definitely Warzone 2. Then we have a tweet here from Modern Warfare 2 Ghost. The league gameplay is pre-alpha. It looks effing solid, even for an old build. And he says, and I was not joking when I said the game is in a great state and looks great. Of course, visually pleasing does not translate to pleasing gameplay. That'll be for you to judge soon. Which, once again, lines up with what we've heard. People say that the game looks great, but the gameplay right now is kind of suffering. But of course, you know, it's still going to be forever before the game comes out, so hopefully they can really nail that down before we get to play it, which it's almost certain that they're going to do. And the Ghost of Hope follows up with a similar tweet that he already said, got a feeling that the leaked footage is actually from the Warzone 2 tutorial. The fact that there's a pop-out on the middle left talking about TAC map and some contracts and stuff. The UI is the same except turned green in the bottom right instead of blue. Armor plate icon still there, etc. As well as he also says, only thing really different is no minimap, which makes sense if a tutorial is explaining things step by step, and maybe it didn't pop up yet or won't at all, and the compass being a darker color and less detailed with the numbers and stuff. So cool stuff, guys. So that is that's gonna do it for our video, guys. What do you guys think about this? Like I said, I cannot show you guys the gameplay. I'm sorry, but like seriously, go to any of these tweets and you will be able to find gameplay in the replies to this. So super easy to find, but like I said, the gameplay is so blurry, it doesn't really tell us anything about it other than it's like kind of cool to be able to see it. You know, like they said, it's like pre-alpha. And so it's like, okay, cool, you know, you get to see pre-alpha gameplay of Warzone 2, but it's so blurry you can't make out anything, so it's almost pointless. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We got more leaks coming up. Seriously, like, there's leaks for days, and we'll be at this for some time until probably like all the way up until we get the full reveal, and then I guarantee even after that we're still going to be getting tons of leaks all the way up until launch. I'm really excited about this game. If you guys are too, make sure you guys like drop a like on this video as well as subscribing. It really helps out the channel, as well as you know, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. It really helps out the algorithm. But that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.